Welcome back to the Banger Bar for another episode of Overkill Reviews. Today we're taking on Iron Reagan's crossover ministry, out today on Relapse Records. Iron Reagan began as a side project for members of Municipal Waste and Darkest Hour. This is their third full-length. Given the current political climate, it seems all too appropriate that a band with a name as indebted to another Republican president as Iron Maiden would release an album with tracks like Bleed the Fifth and More War, which oddly seem like predictions for the next 4 years. Using 18 tracks in 30 minutes as their platform, let's see if Iron Reagan will make metal great again. First up, we've got the album opener, A Dying World, which starts out with muted production before they build a wall of explosive sound. Those high energy opening tom rolls and the feedback serve as the perfect opening to get you hyped up. Next we get the hook, with its pessimistic but realistic message.
Cannot save a dying world! A dying world! Cannot save a dying world! A dying world!
Sad, but hopefully not true. The gang vocals there really add that extra oomph to a song that doesn't let up. That riff concludes the song and might be my favorite part. It's tremendous. Next up, we've got Fuck the Neighbors. They start out with a skit where the neighbor asks when the loud party is going to end.
Hey neighbor, yard looks great. Anyhow, hey, is the party ending tonight or tomorrow or?
Then we get a 1, 2, 3, 4 count before it really kicks in.
Strangers suggesting I keep my voice down! Just because it's 5 a.m.
Those power violence-esque blasts really serve to underline Crossover's relationship with punk. They're expertly executed by Ryan Parrish, who shows tremendous stamina. That chug and blast back and forth is followed by a build-up before we get to the rallying cry.
Fuck the neighbor! Fuck your yard! The more that you complain, the more we'll go hard!
Once again, Iron Reagan are using gang vocals effectively, only this time they're not just for musical emphasis, they also serve to emulate the angry partygoers.
You guys are fucking up my schedule.
Fuck the neighbor! Fuck the neighbor! Fuck the neighbor!
As you heard there, the partygoers are getting even angrier and more adamant about fucking the neighbor. It's weird, I almost wish we had a concluding skit so I could hear how things ended. Next up, we've got Bleed the Fifth, the first music video and a bigly middle finger to cops everywhere. Let me tell you folks, let me tell you about Bleed the Fifth. This track, Bleed the Fifth, is great. Bleed the Fifth is huge, huge track. It's the moshiest. They only take the moshiest riffs in this song.
No one's gonna put me back into wreckage, especially you!
All joking aside, Bleed the Fifth is a fine song. It's not my favorite on the album. It kind of feels confined by its tempo and its bouncy vocals, but it's decent. I just wish the dynamics at the end, where the speed's shifting all over the place, was reflected throughout the entire song. Last up, we have Megachurch, which starts out blazing. With frantic tremolo picking and an erratic snare, the song is setting up to be the craziest on the album. But what comes next is unexpected. That's kind of where they lost me. Those guest vocals come courtesy of Andreas Sandberg of Negative Self, but it's impossible to beat Thomas Lindberg's spot on the first Reagan album. You hear that? Like, not as good. Why even bother? It's not gonna happen. The vocals there are the biggest disappointment since you were forced to go to church as a kid. Or was that just me? Andrea's vocals actually work well here as a backdrop to Tony's shouting, and paired with the ominous notes, create a sinister backdrop. And with that, the verdict. I feel like it's almost the duty of a politically minded band, and I mean, look at their name, to speak up in troubled times. And I feel like the party songs like Fuck the Neighbors are better suited for municipal waste. In this case, they kind of take away from the political message. The album is good, but I wish the band was spitting just a little bit more venom. We have 4 more years of a Trump presidency. We might get our angriest Iron Reagan yet. I'm giving this album 3 out of 5 skulls on Overkill Reviews.